Oh god, watching this just gave me PTSD of all the times I died facing those bosses in that bloody game. Looking at you, Rumour Honeybottoms. The Cuphead show. It's, well, the Cuphead game, and yeah, it's got a TV show now. It just drops on Netflix recently, and it's been a while since I played the Cuphead game, but man, that art style, that early 1900s 2D charm, that's still very fresh in my mind. And Cuphead itself was this brilliant idea to bring that art style back into life, in the form of an incredibly hard and frustrating platformer game. Here we have 12 episodes on Netflix, none of them longer than 15 minutes an episode, so it's about 3 hours of content tops, presenting us with these short Looney Tunes-like sketches with this slapstick cartoon fun. And instantly I just felt nostalgic. Not that I necessarily grew up in the 1940s where this art style was prime, but it just reminded me so much of like the days of Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, or Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. And you've probably guessed it, but there's not much of a story here, but there is an overarching element of Cuphead owing his soul to the devil, and that does come into focus a bit more towards the end of the TV show. But it's just Cuphead and Mugman running into trouble in the form of old bosses that we've all struggled against in the games. It's also great seeing all these original and interesting characters gain life and personality, and Cuphead and Mugman almost have this Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails camaraderie going on, which was quite nice to see as well. But everyone else in the show is still weirdly creepy and evil, but it does teeter more towards that simplicity so it can be more accessible for kids. This is, if I had to say it, was about a 60-40 ratio, where 60% of this feels like it's aimed at being a kids show, with, you know, the humour, the slapstick, the voice acting, the episodic formula, but then there's also that 40% that feels like it's very much there for the older folks, that attention to detail, that love for the craft, the creepiness to all of the villains and the way they smile is still slightly eerie, and that appreciation and winding back the clock into this art style. Because the animation quality here is definitely impressive. 2D animation can be a lot more time intensive than 3D animation for TV shows, which is why we've seen a lot of IPs trade that 2D hand-drawn quality for that working friendly, less time intensive 3D model form of storytelling. Seeing this, you can tell how much effort went into this, and this project just feels loved. It has that old feel similar to the games, but every frame here is given great care. The old school background elements in here are great too, with a bit of musical stuff in as well. The Devil's song in the first episode of the show is super catchy. I wouldn't binge this whole show at once, otherwise it might feel repetitive. 2 to 3 episode chunks worked well for me, but it's something that you can watch with your kids or just, well, whenever you want, really. It got me laughing a couple of times in most of the episodes, and the voice acting's pretty top notch too. If you loved the game, you're looking forward to that new DLC coming out, or you just love things like Looney Tunes back in the past, give this a go. It's a bit of fun. It feels like a trip back in time, but with that modern quality. So, the Cuphead show on Netflix. Maybe you've already seen it. If you have, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. If you liked this review, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It always helps me out. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews of movies, anime, and video games. Until next time, guys, take care. Bye-bye.